so y'all can see me drive in progress.
My husband and I were married for 3 years. As time progressed, I started to see some issues that he had, a lot of anger built up inside of him. It started to get worse. He would start slashing things. He came home one day after work. He had planted some flowers in my yard, and he pulled them up, started breaking things. That was my last straw. I decided I couldn't do it anymore. I was ready to file for a divorce. The day when the incident happened, I was getting my little girl ready for school, and so I dropped her off and I came back home and got myself ready to go to work. I just kind of went on through my day. That afternoon, I called to see if he could pick up my daughter from daycare and bring her home. So I got the rest of my kids from school. I stopped by the store and made it back to the house. While I was in the kitchen cooking, I heard a knock at the door, and it was him asking me if he could fix my freezer that he had slashed 2 weeks prior. I said, okay. I lit up the garage because the freezer was inside the garage, and I went out there to clean it out. As I was cleaning the deep freezer out, he said, "You don't want me anymore?" And I said, "I don't know." And as soon as I said, "I don't know," it's like a rage came over him, something I'd never seen before. His eyes got so big, he just kept saying, "You don't want me no more, you don't want me no more." And 1 second, everything changed. He pulled the gun up, he shot the gun in the air one time. I tried to run in the house. He pulled my arm and he said, "Where you going?" And he shot me right below my breast, up under my arm, my chest cavity. It was close range. The bullet, it just felt like fire. Everything went in slow motion. He was looking at me as if he couldn't believe he had done this. My body just instantly fell to the ground. It felt like my body was broken. I couldn't feel my legs. I didn't know whether I was going to live or die. I just kept praying, "Please don't let me die like this." And then he shot again, and I thought he had shot me again, but his body fell right next to mine. He had shot himself on the right side of his head. He died instantly. All I could hear was my kids screaming, "Mama, Mama." And I could barely talk or breathe. I just kept trying to tell the kids to call the police. I blacked out for a minute. My mom, she stayed the next street over from me, and she said she heard the gunshot, but she didn't know where it come from. And she noticed that my garage was up because I never leave my garage up at night. She just got in her car and came around, and she saw me and she called the police. When I made it to the hospital, they told me I was lucky to be alive. The bullet went in through my chest cavity and it went out my back. One of my lungs collapsed and I had a broken rib. I lost a lot of blood and I had to end up having a blood transfusion. The bullet grazed 3 parts of my spine, which left me with a spinal cord injury, and I was going to have to use a wheelchair. I had to be in the hospital for a month, and then I had to be in rehab for like a month and a half. Once I got in physical therapy, I met a lot of different people, my physical therapists, that were very encouraging. I just knew I had to get the strength to be able to move forward, and especially for my children. I had to learn how to do just about everything all over again. I had to learn how to adapt to being in a wheelchair. I am a domestic violence, gun violence survivor. Gun violence is the most horrific thing that's happening in this world nowadays. Domestic violence happens every day, and most people are ashamed to talk about it. I am an advocate now for domestic violence. I go around and speak to young ladies. Once you start seeing signs, it's time to go. Every day is a struggle. Sometimes the pain is tolerable. Sometimes it's just very excruciating. And I just still get up and go about it and do it anyway because I try to distract myself from it. This is my survival story. What is yours?
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. We have a special guest for you today. I'm so excited. We have been through the whole month of domestic violence. We are now in the last week on our last survivor and her story. But also we have our raffle going on today. So y'all be ready. We're going to be calling winners and we're going to be giving out gifts for Domestic Violence Month. Now, just remember, you got to be by your phones. Look out for a 512 area code. We're only going to call twice. If you do not answer on that second call, we will be pulling in another name. That's the way the raffle goes, and make sure that you pay attention. So also make sure you share this live as well, because we have an interesting show for you today, and we want to spread out awareness. So let's now bring in our co-host, Dwight Robinson. Co-host, Denise, interviewer, Keisha. Are y'all ready?
Oh, yeah.
We got a good one today, and we're going to go ahead and bring her in, get to know her a little bit, and hear her story. Now, all the way from Dallas, Texas, we're going to bring you a published author, domestic violence survivor. She's also having her own website with clothing and also dealing with hair installs. I introduce to y'all now Miss Sherelle Hodges.
Hello. How are y'all?
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
All right. All right.
Doing pretty good today.
Hello, hello, pretty lady. How we doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great, great. I want to thank you for accepting. I actually met you on TikTok,
Yes, ma'am.
and the way I mean, I was so nervous. I didn't think you was going to respond, but you did. You responded quickly. You actually was on there telling your story and your path. And before we actually get into that, you're actually now a published author.
Yes, ma'am. I did. I published a book called The Long Way to Myself, Finding Me.
Yes. Now this book here, what is this book here? What has it done for you? Because I know a lot of people say, well, this was my breaking point. This was my doorway to escape, to gain strength. Could you share with us, by writing this book, The Long Way to Myself, what did it do for you?
Oh, well, really writing the book was a sense of just finally dealing with what happened to me, because a lot of people go through things and they hang on to it and it ultimately drives them either crazy or drives them to a point of no return. And so me, I was one of those people. I was one of those that kept holding on to it, taking it into new situations, new relationships and everything like that. And I realized in order for me to get over it, I had to speak on it, let it be known, and then use it as a barrier to just keep going and not just use it as a prohibitor to say like, oh, I went through this, I went through that, and this is why I can't keep going forward. No, it's like you do it, put it out there, forget about it and move on,
Yes, yes. Now, how long did it take you to write this book?
It took me about 9 days, a week and a couple days to write it. It didn't take me long at all.
Wow, I'm working on 6 years since my first one.
Yep, I'm working on part 2 now as we speak.
Okay.
Part 2, yes, ma'am.
Now with part 2, is it a spinoff from part 1, or is it
Yeah.
another emotion?
Yeah, it actually is. Part 1 was just more of touching base on a lot of different things that happen, from molestation, from domestic violence, going through foster care. So I didn't really go in as much detail as I wanted to, considering it was my first book. So I didn't know what to expect from it. So now that I see and know that there's people out there who are actually going through this, and I'm like, okay, now let me take the time, take the second book and actually go more into details, incorporate more and say more than what I said the first time around.
Yes, yes. Now, as I see on TikTok, you have little bit over 1K of followers.
Yes, ma'am. I have 2 pages. My first page, which got taken from me halfway, has 24,000 followers, and my second page has it actually just touched 13,000 today.
Oh, great.
Yes, ma'am.
So doing this platform on TikTok, did you expect such a huge amount of followers to be intrigued behind what you had to speak about?
No, I don't want to say I expected the followers. It was more so on the strength of I didn't even want to write the book. I actually met someone else who has been on TikTok telling their story. And with me explaining what I went through to them, they were just like, you have a story, and I'm almost 100% sure it's relatable. There's so many people in the world that go through that and they don't know how to speak on it, and you do. So put it on TikTok, break it down. And when I did that, the first couple of videos, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm not going to make another video because it's pointless. Nobody's seeing it. And then I did it for a third time. And it literally, like, over the course of, I want to say, a few days, my TikTok just took off. And there was people everywhere wanting more, wanting to know more. And I'm thinking that's just from a perspective of, dang, like, there's somebody who's actually been through what I'm currently going through or have went through, and they're not afraid to speak on it. And they wanted more. So I gave them more.
So speaking about your book, how are the sales going so far, and when did it become released?
My book was released almost a month ago. So I want to actually, that's still pushing it, about 3 weeks ago. I released it, I published it, got it copyrighted and everything, and sales have literally taken off. I've sold almost 200 books, and I'm in the midst of right now packaging books, getting them sent out to people who just ordered in the past couple of days. So I'm doing pretty good with book sales.
Okay. Okay, now you also have a clothing line.
Yes,
Can
ma'am.
you tell us a little bit about that?
Me and my brother actually came up with the clothing line zero tolerance, meaning I look at it from a perspective of everything that I've been through, a lot of things that prohibited me from being with my child, that took me away from my child for times, a lot of like just everything that I've been through, domestic violence, foster care, adoption, just all of that, giving birth to my child, like moments after turning 18. And it's just like, now that I'm at a place in life, I won't let anything or anyone take me away from being a mom, take me away from progressing further in life. I'll never be to a point where I feel like I have to depend and lean on a man or anything. So we came up with zero tolerance because it's just like, zero tolerance for any negativity, zero tolerance for anything that's prohibiting you from becoming something better in life.
Yeah, actually, this is what your shirts are saying is behind everything you said, cause zero tolerance, and you're actually wearing one of those shirts.
Yes, ma'am, I am. This is actually my favorite one. I wear this one like almost every day, and I think it's just because of the colors, or I could just be a little weird. But yeah, this is one of my shirts. They are on my website. And my website is lifeofsherelle.com for those who may be interested in purchasing one.
Right.
Yes.
Now, I know I also seen on your page where I was seeing some other clothes. Can you tell us about this? Because I know I said, oh, you need to get a clothing line. And I seen some outfits that I was like, wow, I love these outfits. So
yeah, I was actually just branching off, trying, new things, I guess you can say. Because these that I have on, were handmade. These ones, I have vendors and publishers. I have vendors and providers everywhere around the DFW Metroplex that I go and just, see what I like that they've come up with. And then I get it, kind of try to advertise it. I'm not a model or anything, but I get it, try to advertise it a little bit. And then if people like it, I go to my vendors, I get it, and I provide it for them.
hey, great. So it's almost like everything you've been through in your path, you had transformed it to use it as a weapon in order to do great things to also serve the community, but also bring a message across.
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely. I mean, a lot of people, they'll take a lot of the things that they've been through and they'll say, oh, this happened because of this. This happened because of that. And I took a lot of the bad that happened to me and converted it, or at least that's what I think, converted it into something better and used it as fuel to keep going. Just because you went through the storm doesn't mean you have to sit there. There's always sunshine at the end of every storm. Or at least that's the way it's been for me.
Yes. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to go ahead and take a short break, and we're going to come back and listen to the story behind Miss Sherelle and her path and how she overcame. This here is a clip from TikTok on her story.
All right, so look, let me back it up just a little bit in this torture by my baby daddy situation. Now, before I got to the point where we were living together, we had our daughter, and all of this abusiveness was happening, there was a period in my little foster care situation where they kind of intertwined. Now, I met him when I was 16, almost 17 in high school, and I was running track. He would come to my games. He would tell me that he wanted me to come to his house with him and things like that. But being the laughingstock at my school, considering how small I was, how black I was, and how my teeth weren't always like they are now, he was the only one showing me attention, so I kind of just like fell for it. So not only did I fall for it, I fell into the manipulative trap where we were having sex, we were hanging out all the time. I was skipping school, just anything to pretty much please him and keep that attention. Now, as you know, not only was he manipulative, he was always abusive. Now, in the foster care journey, I did end up leaving to go to a party with him. And when I went to the party with him, I'm assuming that my parents were looking for me, and they ended up sending the police to the town where I told them I was going, which was Sandtown, the lower part of the city. When we noticed that the police lights were coming, he stuffed me in a car with a friend and told the friend that he wanted him to take me home. So the friend was like, oh, okay, I got you. I'll take her. Now, instead of his friend taking me home like he said he would, we pulled up behind the center in his car. He locked the doors and told me to get in the back seat. Get in the back seat? He was like, yeah. So immediately I'm like, nah, I'm going to get out and I'm going to just go home. Now, instead of him allowing me to get out of the car, he pulled his gun out and set it on his lap. I said, get in the back seat. So almost expeditiously, I'm like, okay, and I climb in the back seat. He climbed up the back seat, got back there with me, and pretty much wiggled his way up out of his pants. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, what you doing? He was like, oh, yeah, I heard about you and your little boyfriend and what you let him do and everything that you did. So now I'm about to show you what you've been missing out on. Nigga, what? Fast forward, he grabbed my head and pretended to make me perform fellatio. Now, I have tears and everything running down my eyes because, one, I knew for a fact I shouldn't have been out at this party. And had I listened to my parents and stayed home, this wouldn't be going on now. So after the fellatio part was done, he did pretty much lay me down in the back seat, and whatever was done was done. So he unlocked the door and was like, you can get out. And so I kind of looked at him with the tears running down my face like, you're not going to take me home? He pretty much shrugged it off, and I got out the car and started walking. Now, while I'm walking, my mind is clouded. I'm confused. I'm like, I know what happened, but what do I do in a situation like this? Common sense would be to call the police or to tell my parents. But instead of me telling anything or saying anything in general, I just kept it to myself. Stay tuned for the next part to this series.
Now, could you tell us when was the first time that you came encountered with abuse? Because we know that at the age of 16, you met the guy that was in the picture.
Yes, ma'am. I was in school, actually. I was playing sports, just living my life as a normal teenager. And he saw me and approached me, and me just, being the fast hot tail kid, like, you know how kids are. I kind of just like went with it. He was just like, what's your name? Where you from? And it's just like all common questions. I go to school there. I told him that I was born in Dallas, et cetera, et cetera. And he was just like, oh, let me get your number. You coming to the game? So my thing was, let me try to finish. Let's finish this volleyball game. so I can get to the football game because I wanted to see him. So I encountered him when I was 16, going on 17, when I was a senior in high school. I graduated high school pretty early.
Okay. So with him experiencing this abuse and everything, did you at this time have a father in the home? Because I know sometimes like some girls are looking for that father figure.
Well, no. At the time when we were adopted, my mom and my dad were together, and then they split up when we moved to the city. We moved from the country to the actual small city that we went to school in. So my dad had a place that was down the street from the school, but we were more closer going towards another city. So they were living separate. So I guess you could say, yeah, I was looking for that father figure. And when a man approached me, I'm like, maybe I can find that love. Maybe I can find what I was missing from my dad being in the household from this guy, which ultimately took a turn for the worst.
Yes. Now, how much older was he? Because you were 16. How old was he at this time?
He was 10 years older than me. He did lie at first and say that he was 21. Mind you, they say black don't crack. And I wouldn't have put it past them, 21, 22, you know. But I found out from the police when my mom called the police and everything, and they told me, listen, he's 26, about to be 27. That's a grown man. You're a kid. You need to leave him alone. I didn't listen. I kept doing what I was doing.
Yes. So I'm gonna ask my other assistant co-host and interviewer if y'all have any questions to ask at this time right now after seeing the video.
Ooh, you're so young. You're just a child. So did your parents, your mom or so, try to get you away from him?
Yeah, they were being the parents they needed to be. And to be honest, like looking back on it now, I wish I had have, listened to them to avoid what I went through. Now, I'm not saying the outcome, because the outcome is my daughter. The outcome is me writing a book. The outcome is me being independent enough to not have to lean on a man now, But half of me wants to say, I really wish I had to listen, because I could have probably bypassed that part of life. But God takes you through two things to bring you through them. And so now I look at it from a different lens. Like, there was obviously something I needed to learn, something I needed to see, which is why he allowed me to walk that path and go through it.
Yeah, Dwight?
Yeah, I want to ask this man, is he still trying to, let's say, talk to you, be in your business a lot, try to have some kind of, I guess what you call it, power in your life, anything like that?
For the most part, no. We have a clearer understanding now that our communication or whatever that's going on is solely based on our daughter. There are times when we'll call, he'll laugh and joke and everything. And I think that's on the strength of, I no longer have her under my thumb. I can no longer control her. I can no longer do that, because now, being older and going through what I went through, I know when to draw the line. Like, okay, there's boundaries here. This, that, and the third is not going to happen. If you're calling me because you want to joke around or whatever, that's fine. If there's something going on with our child, that's fine as well. But you ask me personal questions, you wondering who's at my house or anything like that, those are boundaries that will never be crossed.
I hear that. That's right.
Wasn't there also a time, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I know I watch a lot of your lives, wasn't a time as well that he had even went and asked you for money?
Yes, he did. He did. Out of the random blue, was just like, I have an investment opportunity for you. And my first question to him was, does it have anything to do with our daughter? Like, if it's with my daughter, I'm all ears, And he was just like, no, but it'll further benefit her later down in life. And I'm like, all right, so let me hear it. He's like, well, I'm trying to open another studio and I need a $5,000 investment from you. That studio has nothing to do with my child. And so he was just like, you're either going to do it or you're not. And I'm like, I'm not. And he got mad. But then once I recognized and sensed that things are about to escalate, click. That's it. Yep.
And Keisha?
Yes. Now, looking at that TikTok, do you feel like your friend at that time set you up like putting you in the car with this other young man and that other young man doing whatever he did? Do you feel like that was a setup?
I don't want to say it was a setup. I think he did that out of the fear of the police that was coming. And honestly, I feel like if there had been anyone else that was close to him at the time in a vehicle, he probably would have stuffed me in their vehicle. So I don't want to say that part was a setup, because even with me mentioning it to him now, which is years later, my daughter is about to be 7 years later, that, like he said, that part of the situation really bothered him, because had he known the person was like that, he would have never put me in the vehicle. So I think he just did it as a quick mechanism, like, oh my God, the police are coming. Put me in the car. Can you please take her home? I don't think it was just like, okay, I know what I did to her, but I wouldn't set her up to, go through that. I don't think he did that.
I'm sure that part just further confused you about just dealing with things and just further confused you on a lot of stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Have you moved on in another relationship? Are you married or engaged or anything?
Oh, no. I do still have the thing in the back of my head that all guys are the same. And honestly, I don't want to say that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life, but I feel like I know now, and that's just based off of other relationships that I see, and even my godparents. I watch how my godfather treats my godmom, and that's like what I aspire to see in a man, So if I don't see that, or if I don't get those feelings, or if I don't get, like, I guess you could say, like, intuition or whatever, that's what your intentions are with me, then no. So I'm perfectly fine with being single. Me and my daughter, I save a lot of money being single. I just spend my money on my daughter. So no relationship.
Well, the prospects are still open if that door hasn't been shut.
It's cracked. Let me say, it's cracked. It's not completely shut. It's not wide open for them to just like walk through and be like, hello. And no. You still got to knock.
Okay.
Now, you spoke of foster care. How did you end up in foster care, and what was that like for you coming up as a child?
In foster care, I remember it so vivid. We were outside rolling down the hill into the street. No, we weren't supposed to be doing it, but we're kids. This is what kids do. We go against the rules from adulthood. So we're rolling down into the street, and when my brother rolled down, my father was on his way out of the house. And it's just like he was angry, and I could understand that
Oh, go ahead. I don't know what that was.
Okay. I could understand that he was angry and everything. Why? Because he had rolled down into the street. So it's just like, okay. But when he disciplined my brother, gave him a whooping down there. The lady next door, which was a Caucasian lady, she was the only one there. But it looks like, she saw a ghost when that happened. Like, you're really whooping your kids, And so I still to this day believe that was the reason CPS was called. Now, it could have been that people had noticed that my parents used to leave us home alone. My mom would leave early in the morning. She wouldn't come home till late at night. And we were supposed to be me and my brother were supposed to be in school. We weren't in school. So maybe it was some of those things that played a part into it. But going through foster care was horrible. For me to say, it was horrible. There were some times where things seemed to be a little steady, and it wasn't as rocky as it was when it first started. But just the period of going from home to home to home to home to home, it was bad.
Now, because I know I've heard stories of foster care, and it hasn't been good. But what we're going to do, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to hear more about your path and experience with domestic violence. But before we go, we are going to go ahead and do our first raffle. We had actually 53 entries, so that was pretty good. So hopefully next month we have more, being that we're raffling off a Screen TV. So we'll see. But we're going to make our first call, and we're going to see who the winner of this one is. So let me put my hand in here. I look it.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. I need to have that next time, right?
I had known, I would have set it up over here.
So we have the first one, and I gotta pop it open, put my other eyes on first. And The first one we're going to raffle off is going to be actually the men's shirt from Small Set Apart, which is the one on the right, and
Wow.
also the men's wallet, which you see at the bottom right, and something from the Unspoken Heart, which would probably be the CD. So let's see who our first winner is.
Oh, you got to go
There
there.
you go. Teresa.
Okay, let's make our first call. Now remember, you have to look out for the 512 number. You'll only be given 2 chances to answer the phone call.
Pick it
And
up.
we're finna make our first call.
Hello.
Yes, this is Spicy Gray with Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. May I speak to Miss Deetra Russell?
Hi, Spicy. This is her.
Hi, baby. You are our first winner in the raffle.
Hey. Okay. Well, thank you.
We really truly appreciate you supporting Breaking the Chain Silence and standing the ground against domestic violence for Domestic Violence Month. But I don't know if you're watching, but you actually won the men's purple shirt from Small Set Apart, the men's leather wallet from K&L Boutique, and the Unspoken Heart CD.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome, and I'll contact you after the show so that we can make arrangements for you to receive your gift.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a blessed day.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Our first one is congratulations, Deetra.
I'm jealous.
Actually, we do have a surprise, but we'll mention it later on from our special guest. She'll mention it after our third pulling. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go to a small break and we return with Sherelle Hodges.
Part 3 of Torture by My Baby Daddy. Now, I left off when I said that he threw me through the TV and it was about to get crazy, or the dude was crazy, right? Indeed, he is crazy. So it got to the point where, as he knew that I was progressing throughout my pregnancy, he decided that it was best if he put me out, tell me I had to go. Like, there would be times where I would have my money so I could get food and stuff. He would take, like, my cards and stuff, like, pure torture. Mind you, at the time, I was only 17. I was already underage when I had went to go and live with him. So I think he mentally took advantage of that. Me being young, I just thought like, oh, okay, this is what's supposed to happen. Maybe he don't mean it. Maybe he just going through something silently that he didn't just like want to talk about. Of course, I should have had the common sense to know, like, girl, if there was something going on, that does not excuse what the hell he doing to you. So fast forward, this one particular day, he had threw me out the house. I was 6 months pregnant, didn't know where I was going, so the only thing I knew was just go find somewhere to hide. So I went to go and hide, and next thing you know, I looked back at the doorstep and realized that my luggage was outside. When I say my luggage, he had threw like a few things in there and put it outside the door. So I went to go and get it, and I went back around the little way where the homeless people were, because at the time, you know, I'm homeless, which I felt like I could have called my mom, but being in that situation and dealing with what I was dealing with her and the situation that I was currently going through, I really just felt like, damn, maybe I just need to be on my own. So I found this ditch that was on the side of the curb going around where people would be flying. There's been wrecks and everything. And I just crawled down into the ditch. So it was about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. I was just down there crying my heart out, you know, but just trying to figure out, like, where did I go wrong? What did I do so wrong for him to just, you know, want to treat me like this? So he finally came out, and I heard my name being screamed, like, Sherelle, where the fuck, where you at? Where you at? Da da da, this and that. I know your ass hear me, da da da, like calling me all out of my name and everything. Like, that was my cue right then and there. I should have just been like, nah, I'ma leave. I ain't gotta deal with this. I ain't gotta do that. I ain't gotta do this. But I crawled up out of the ditch, and I was like, I'm over here still crying, like eyes all puffy, red and everything. He clearly didn't give a fuck. He was just like, bro, get your bald headed ass in the house, do this, that, and the third. clearly still calling me out of my name, disrespecting me to the utmost. But I mean, I put up with it because I left foster care. Then the argument that me and my mom had about the situation that went on at her house, so I couldn't call her, so I really didn't have nowhere to go. So I was dealing with it. I was putting up with it. We had other incidents where the police got called, and I was literally put outside the house, and I was walking, and I had a blanket wrapped around me. Mind you, like I was almost ready to give birth then. Drop a prayer hands if you want to hear part 4. Trust me, it don't get no easier.
Wow. Now, you had your daughter at what age?
I had her at 17.
At 17. What was your reaction and your emotions when you found out that you was pregnant with his baby, knowing that he was putting you through all this?
Honestly, I think when I found out I was pregnant, that was going to be the stopping point on his behalf. Like he would stop the abuse. He would stop saying what he was saying. He would stop doing the things that he was doing. So it was like a sense of relief and happiness that life, as I thought, would get better, but it didn't. So when I got pregnant and I told him that I was pregnant and he still decided to throw me through the TV, I was just like, it's only going to get worse because now you can't, or maybe he thought in his head like, oh, I can't keep doing what I was doing, or I can't keep going out, being out all night because she's home pregnant with my child or whatever. It was the complete opposite. Like now it's, oh, I'm barely going to come home. I'm here. I'm like either at work or I'm at the studio, or it's, if I'm angry, I'm definitely taking it out on you. And I don't know if his ultimate goal was to potentially kill my baby or what it was, but he did not let up. He did not let up at all.
Wow. Now tell me this, when the baby was born, what was his reaction when it came down to her?
He, I mean, looking at him, it was like he was in shock as, dang, I have a baby here. Mind you, he does have older kids, but it was just me being the youngest person that he had been with in other relationships that he said that he used to fight in, but the other half used to fight back. So it was like an even playing field with them. But when it came to me, it was just like full power and control. So just to know that a baby came out of something so just negative and so just unholy and all of that, just the bad seed of whatever. I don't know if he was just like, do I need to stop? Do I need to change this, that, and the third? But then I had to start thinking, like, I have a baby now, so I have to look at life differently. I have to make different steps, make different choices. And if it starts with leaving this man, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Because if you take me away from my child, who's gonna raise my child? And I refuse to have her go through what I went through as a kid.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question, and then I'm going to let the rest of them come ask you a question. Did he have any fear when it came down to your parents? I mean, because, some guys, they fear the dad when the dad's in the home. And, some of them, they just, they'll keep that distance.
I don't think he necessarily had any fear besides the one day when my dad actually had his gun and was like, listen, you going to leave her alone voluntarily or you going to leave her alone involuntarily? It's your choice, whatever you want to do. And I don't want to even say that he was scared then, but I think my dad had this either look or demeanor that, yeah, I'm not playing. You're going to choose one or the other, one of the two. Because even when I was younger and we had started messing around, the police got called and all of that, it was just like, okay, the police was called, but I'm still going to pull up behind your house. You're still going to come outside or you're still going to come to my house. Like I could have been at his house. My mom could have sent the police over there and it would have been technically, what is it? Rape or whatever. Cause I'm a kid and you're a grown up. So I don't think he had really any fear for what could have happened. It was just after my child was born and my dad was just like, listen, we're not doing this anymore. I know exactly what you're doing to her. The games are over. Yeah. And I think that's what really got that green light.
And we're going to go over to our co-host and see what he has to ask you.
Well, I want to say you are one in a million because really because of what you've been through with this man. And even though y'all share a child, because I think most women would have just cut him off completely, just completely for what he put them through. So to me, you are very, very one in the middle of a given person, because a lot of people couldn't find their heart to forgive a person that did them like that. So I commend you on that, because yeah, co-parenting the baby girl and everything, but yeah, you are very rare, because most women, they wouldn't want to even have nothing to do with that man or anything like that.
Right.
Well, I applaud you for that. I really do applaud you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Denise?
Yes. Well, I know I'm probably gonna have a hard time in your situation to deal with a man that would hurt you. How are you handling that? Do you fear that he might or maybe could do it again at one point?
Me, no. But my daughter did come and tell me that there was an incident between him and his wife. So him as a person, I don't think has changed at all. I just think his victim has changed. I'm no longer under his thumb, so you don't have that control over me. So now you have to direct that anger somewhere else. As long as it's not my child, I don't care who you direct it to. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, okay, it's her, whatever. Like, no woman should have to go through it. But as long as you're not directing that energy towards my kid, then we're okay. We're okay.
How, one more question. How do you feel about your child being in a situation where her father is abusing the one he's with now, and then she sees these things? How would you feel about that?
I don't like it at all, to be honest. I don't. And the only reason let's just say she's there or she's in the mix or whatever, is because I want her to have that relationship with her father. Outside of all of the extraness that goes on, outside of the way that he treats women, no child should be without their father. Like me, I shouldn't have had to grow up with just my mom in the house. Now I don't have my father showing me what a man should be like. Not saying like, oh, okay, he can tell her the way a man is supposed to be. He knows exactly how a man is supposed to be. But whatever it is that they have as far as bonding wise, I don't want to take that from her. But it's like a up and down situation. Like, yes, you don't want her around it, but no, because she needs to have that relationship. She needs to have that love, that compassion, that bond with the male figure in her life.
All right, Michelle, this just kind of goes back to the very beginning when you were just kind of talking about all of your accomplishments and, using your past hurts to get to where you are. I just want to applaud you for being able to use your hurt as basically your platform to be where you are, to have the clothing line, to write your book. Congratulations on your book. And to just use that to help you heal, and that's like your own therapy that you're doing right there. So I just want to congratulate you on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, looking at and I know I asked you this yesterday on our private interview, but standing in the position that you are now, and you are a survivor, if you look back now, what are the red flags that you could have seen that you could see now that you couldn't see then when it came down to him as an abuser?
First would be lack of communication. If there's any type of conflict or anything that's going on between me and any other individual that I'm associated with, if there's no form of communication, then that's a problem with me. Because now, not only can you not sit there and come to a conclusion about any disagreement that you may have on a topic, now it's like you're lashing out, you're attacking things without trying to get a better understanding and coming to a resolution. Second would be probably the aggression, the way that you talk, which it all falls under communication. I think that's like the borderline, that's the key, that's the opening into change, that's the opening into differences, it's the opening into any resolution that you really could just, I guess, seek out or whatever. The ability to talk about it first and then react. And I think in his situation, it was react. And then once you've done the damage, now you want to assess it and be like, so what's your problem? Or this, that, and the third. Like, why not talk first and then figure out the reaction afterwards.
So now, being more wise to domestic violence, could you actually say, because I know for the first time I did get to meet your new boo, and he's very comical and very sweet, but when it comes down to certain, yes, that was him on the live last night, wasn't it?
Oh no, that's my homeboy. No, that's just the homie.
Tell him I'm sorry. Y'all let
you're fine.
But could you tell us now, are you able to identify an abuser just by conversation, just by walk, just by the mannerism? Are you able to see now, like, okay, he's possessive, or no, he has an anger problem, or it's just something about him?
I don't want to say I can just recognize it right off bat. I mean, it's some things you can kind of pick up on, you can kind of sense, like whether that's just a text message or something, and you don't respond in a timely fashion, and then they're calling you like, so what are you doing? And why you ain't answer? Like small things like that is signs with just like, I guess, meeting new people. It would take time to just like communicate, talk to them, and get to know them in order to decipher that. I'm no expert on figuring out narcissists, but I watch a lot of TV, a lot of series, and when I see it, oh, it's over. I'm like, okay, let me just see how you gonna keep going. Yep, figured them out. We got us one, Chief. That's it.
Now, yeah, being that you have children now, what type of tools do you apply in order for the cycle to not be repeated?
Well, one for my daughter, who's she's with me the majority of the time. That's my baby. I try, like, I'm not a guy, so I can't really just give her the guy perspective, but I try to let her know, like, this is what I went through and this is what you can avoid. I try to instill that into her now. And the way that I'm talking to you guys is the way that I talk to her. If a man opens your car door, and allows you to get in and allows you to get out, opens the door before you go into the store, walks closer to the traffic in the street and keep you safer on the inside. Those are the signs that you look for in chivalry when it comes to men. Now, if you have a guy that will go in, walk in the store and leave you behind, take off walking when y'all leave the car, or whatever the case is, I'm not saying he's just a bad guy, but it's also something that you need to keep a keen eye about. Now you have a reason to double guess, second guess, or look or feel deeper into things before you decide, oh, okay, I want to talk to this person or deal with that. So I try to instill in her and let her know about like the signs and the notion, like, yeah, we not doing that. Because y'all, I'm a published author, but we're not playing those games. Nope.
Yeah. Now, before we do another drawing, do y'all have anything else to say pertaining to this here?
Well, yeah. I'd like to know, has this brought you and your father closer? Do he kind of look out for you? Most fathers, they they check on their daughters, make sure they're okay, and make sure somebody else like that don't come around.
Oh yeah, my dad, that's my backbone. Once he found out, yeah, he was like upset because he's like, why you didn't tell me? Like, yeah, I'm your father. You know what I'm saying? I took on that responsibility when I signed those papers to make y'all mine, So I don't want to say like, oh, you should have known, you could have came to me, but it's just like, I'm your dad. In a situation like that, where you're dealing with a man of that caliber, you should have been able to come to me. You should have come to me, regardless of how you felt that I was going to react or what I was going to say. You should have come to me. So now that my dad knows who this man is and what I've been through, he has been my number one support system from the time I left him all the way up until now. I can call my dad right now, and we are going to laugh. We're going to joke. He's going to ask me if I'm okay or if I need anything. Like, that's literally my solid foundation. If I can't do it by myself, I'm going to call my daddy.
All right.
Yeah. Well, being that you've been through what you've been through and you recognize a lot of things beyond your years, if you've seen a young lady or a gentleman, a young man, and they or going through this thing, what would be maybe the first thing you probably tell them?
Get out. And I know it sounds bad, but I wouldn't just say it like blatantly, like get out, but I would just, try to address it from an understanding standpoint. Me, try to incorporate my story, my situation into it and just like, listen, that happened to me. Yeah, I turned out this way, but it may not work the same way for you. You may have to branch off from this situation and try to attack life on your own, and if they decide to stay, whatever happens, God forbid, I hope everything goes well. But it's just, I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't want to say it's hard, but it's just, I can only tell you what I went through and how I overcame it. So I can feed you the same seeds, and the way you water them is the way you water them.
Right.
Your mic is
I'm sorry. I know you came and said that your daughter told you that she saw something at the dad's house with his new wife. If that behavior continues to happen, are you going to continue to let her go? I know you said you're very strong about letting her have that relationship with her father, but at some point, do you feel like it will harm her just emotionally seeing that type of behavior?
Yeah, I do think it could potentially take a toll on her. Now, since that one time that she told me that, she hasn't told me anything else. But if it was like a revolving thing where she was consistently saying, Mom, Dad did this, Mom, Dad did that, and the third, then it'd be like, okay, now it's a conversation between me and him. There is no daughter included. Like, listen, she can't be around this. If I don't have a man in my house beating on me, talking crazy to me, doing this, that, and the third, then she shouldn't have to be with her father who's doing that to someone else. That's not what she needs to see growing up, because she's going to think, oh, okay, a guy can do this to me and it's fine. I just have to deal with it. No, then we be talking about, okay, I understand she goes to this academy. We're going to have to get her into another academy where I can take her to school, where she can come home to me. It's going to be some major adjustments. But I mean, everything's been fine. She tells me everything. She doesn't leave nothing out. So she hasn't told me anything else about it. So that's a bridge I ain't had to run across yet.
Has somewhat started to change. Who knows?
Maybe. Okay, well, with your child's father, your abuser, him right there, what has he even apologized for all the things he's done to you? Or does he even regret any of the things that he's done? And has he made any type of change?
No, that's one thing he is not going to do. He is not going to apologize if he does something wrong. Now, I've heard him apologize to my daughter, and I think that's just from a father-daughter standpoint. But all of the things that I've been through with him, he has never not once said, I'm sorry. He has never not once said, my bad. He has never not once said, I apologize. Any remote form of just, I'm sorry, or, oh, I hope you're doing better. When he found out that I wrote this book, he literally like attacked me through the phone. He called and was like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to ruin my reputation? Sir, nobody's attacking who you are as a person now. If I was to put a title or a topic or a scale on the relationship between us now, I would tell everybody that you're an immaculate person. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't deal with what I dealt with you then. Now, I'm speaking from a past point of view. I'm releasing all of the things that I've been holding on to, the anger, the hurt, the misunderstanding, the misconstruement. I'm releasing everything that I've been dealing with in order to progress, in order to move forward. It wasn't a latch out and attack you mechanism. It wasn't. But people are going to perceive whatever happens the way that they want to perceive it. And I can't make you understand it from my point of view. No, you're going to accept it the way that you want to accept it. And so after we had about an hour and a half, almost 2-hour conversation of understanding, like, sir, if I wanted the police involved, if I wanted you to go to jail, even though the statute of limitations is not over, then that was something that I should have did then. I wouldn't wait until my daughter is 7 and she understands. I wouldn't wait until y'all build this bond to say, okay, now I'm going to get the police involved. No, just let me vent, let me heal, and let me release the way that I want to release. And you move on with your life and let me move on with mine. And I think he has an understanding, but every now and then his sister will come back into the picture.
Yeah, before we do the drawing, just We have Auntie Darling. She said, I missed it. No, you haven't missed it. She says, it gets worse when you have a baby. They feel you are their property. She says she was pregnant too. So, yeah, sometimes I mean I felt that sometimes too, especially with my last baby that and my first one. I felt like they feel like they had ownership because they had a child by you. So, it's part of control. I'm so glad you got out of it. What we're gonna do now before we go to break, we're gonna take a drawing and let's mix it up and we'll give a call. She's got her fingers crossed.
Ain't gonna win.
She like, come
Y'all
in.
brought the-
Okay, I'm gonna let up the window. I'm not looking in and pulling the name. And this one will be for the let me see, where is it at?
It's a little clear bottle. Little.
This one will be a small set apart, the women's purple and white shirt. Also by K&L Boutique will be the purse with the matching wallet, and also the Unspoken Heart CD.
I need that in my life.
Let's see who does it. Oh, this one don't want to open.
It's because me.
Gotta put my eyes on now.
Dreaming. You dreaming.
Oh Lord. Okay. Make sure you.
What is me spicy? Oh my God.
Is my phone gonna ring?
Yeah.
It's a squeeze bottle. If it's not the makeup bag.
Hello.
Hi, may I speak to Rosalie? This is Spicy Gray from the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour.
Who is she?
You are the second winner for the Domestic Violence Purple Heart raffle. And if you are watching, you have won the ladies' small set apart shirt, purple and white. And also by K&L Boutique, you have won the purse with the matching wallet. And you also have won the Unspoken Heart CD.
Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're so welcome. I'll be contacting you after the show so you can make arrangements in retrieving your gift.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a blessed day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Congratulations, Rosalie. And I don't need you. I don't need you to say the words under the breath either. So we're gonna take another break, and don't give up just yet. We still have another winner to pull for, and also our special guest got a surprise for someone as well. So make sure you stay tuned because it is not over.
It ain't over.
Part 4 of Torture by My Baby Daddy. Now, at this time of the story, I had already given birth. Now, my daughter is about 2 months old, going on 3 months, and I had left Joseph and went to go and live with my dad. Now, he knew where my dad lived because my dad lived in the same town that I went to school in, and Joseph lived down the street. And when I say live down the street, like walking distance, like you can be there in like 2 minutes. So when he found out that I left and went to go live with my dad, that was like not a red light or automatic click in the head like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go over there messing with her because her dad ain't playing those games. He didn't care. He still showed up to the house, was acting crazy, tried to get Jaylee, and was just like, my daughter's coming to live with me. Now, mind you, I did end up going back to him. Crazy? I know. Just listen. So this one particular time that I decided to go back to him, he didn't have a place to live. Everything was pretty much just crumbling down for him. So, me having a soft spot or whatever for him, I was like, okay,
I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna try to, I guess, put the pieces of the puzzle together, or just try to justify whatever. So when I went back with him, we was living in this hotel for about a week. Weird, because he wasn't going to work, he wasn't doing anything to like bring money in. I already had my baby, so that was pretty much my main focus. Now, we were still in the city where my biological mom was, so if anything, I guess, went too wrong, I guess I could call her. She wasn't like a first resort, but I knew for a fact like I could call her. So this one particular day, he came home and me and Jaylee was in the hotel just chilling, watching TV. He was like angry, and I guess he was mad because I had told him, I was like, listen, you need to get a job, you got to take care of her, and you got to help me take care of me, to be honest, because if I'm not working and I'm taking care of her, what can I do for myself? Now, I had just turned 18. Yes, I'm an adult. I'm supposed to be able to provide for myself, but I have a new baby. Like, I literally had my baby a couple months before I turned 18. So telling him that was like slapping him in the face. Now, all these stories keep going back and forth to him abusing me, and I knew for a fact, like, bro, why do I keep going back? Love him. He snapped. He literally grabbed me and threw me to the corner. Mind you, my baby 3 months, she don't really know what's going on, so she's sitting on the bed watching all of this happen. He's punching me all in the gut, choking me by the throat, saying that if I leave him, he gonna kill me. If I try to take his child from him, he gonna kill me. Like, he will hunt me down until the day I die. So mind you, I'm scared, but the moment I get like let free, I beeline for the door. Yes, I left my child, but I knew for a fact that he wasn't gonna do anything to her. He never ever like looked at her even in the worst way. So I left her and I ran. And when I say I ran, like, I ran as fast as I could and got somewhere safe. I called the police. Stay tuned for part 5. Yeah, part 5.
Now, make sure y'all tune in next week, which I think is November the 4th, because we are also going to have another special guest. This is the last domestic violence discussion for this month, but we will be having Mr. MK Extra. He's going to bring us a sweet melody tune, tell us a little bit about his path with music and his passion. So make sure y'all tune in next Thursday. Now, listening and watching that video, was it how was it really extremely hard for you? Because I know for any mother it is. Was it hard for you to leave your baby behind? And what was your reason of leaving behind? Because of the threat that he made towards you, or was it something else?
Yeah, it was always hard. Like, thinking back on it, even now, it's just like, dang, why did I go off and leave something I gave birth to in that room with somebody so crazy? But then once again, that's her father, so I know like he's not gonna do nothing to her. At the time when I was running, it was like, I need to run, get a phone, and call the police. That's what I was gonna do. And actually, I did call the police, and they asked me after they took pictures of he had nail marks in my neck. After they took pictures, they asked me. They said, "Do you want to press charges?" And I don't know what I was thinking. And I sat there and said, no, I don't want to press charges. I just want one of you guys to go and get my child and bring her to me. That was my biggest thing, getting away from him and then getting the police to go and get my child. So, I mean, it was mad scary. And even when they were able to retrieve her from the hotel room and she got to me, there was not one scratch on her. She had a diaper bag full of the stuff that was in the hotel. And like, she was fine. I wasn't fine because, of course, I still had to, doctor myself up and everything. But it's just the thought of like, now she's here. And if she had been older, is that something you would have done to me in front of her? One may never know.
True. Dwight?
I just want to say, like I said, you're a very special young lady. You've been through a lot. God has been blessing you. He's going to continue to bless you. I also want to say that hopefully your therapy will encourage other young ladies or even some men that's going to a domestic violence to get, to get help or seek help, because no one should have to live like that. I'm gonna continue to pray for you and
Thank you.
praying for the baby daddy as well. Hopefully, he'll change. I hope, for the daughter's sake and everything. I really hope he change. And I wish you much love and success in life. Like I said, you're an amazing woman, and you just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Denise, do you have a question for her?
Sure. It's I guess it's both. Okay, looking back when you were like maybe 12. Let's go with 12.
Mhm.
What would you say to that little girl?
Honestly, I would say, I'm sorry.
From the person you are right now, what would you say to the little girl?
I think the first thing I would say is stay a child as long as possible. Stay a child as long as possible. And there's so many kids out here saying, I can't wait till I get grown. I can't wait to be an adult. And they may be seeing it in the purest form ever, just wanting to be adults so they don't have to ask their parents for nothing, wanting to be adult because they want to go to a party or whatever the case may be that they're saying they want to be an adult. I would literally, if I could look at myself at 12, I would say, one, stay humble as a child. One, don't get big headed because of whoever you may encounter, whatever you may go through. If you see somebody, another kid that could be the same age as you, and their parents got them cell phones, fancy clothes, they're doing this and they're doing that. Just because you see them doing it, don't just say, oh, I want to go and do it, because I don't know. It's like God laid out the path for us. And when he laid the path out for us, in order for us to walk that path, he gave us free will, of course. Now he's not going to say, oh, you're falling off, let me put you back on. No, if you fall off, whatever happens when you fall off is a lesson. It's a lesson that you're learning while you're going through it for you to get back onto that narrow path. So that would be my only thing. Stay a child. Listen to your parents. They're not telling you anything wrong. And to this day, everything my mom was telling me when I was being rebellious, when I wanted to just go and be with this man, when I wanted to be a teenager, or what I thought a teenager was supposed to be during the time, I would literally just, okay, mom, because I don't. You're obviously molding me. You're preparing me for this evil and vicious world out there. I decided to go whatever path I wanted, and I had to attack it full-fledged by myself.
You're muted. We can't hear you.
Sorry. I'm glad that you're showing so much positive energy. Like a lot of ladies that go through what you have, they have just some horrible feelings inside, but you have really just turned this around, and you are using every ounce of it for the good. Like you said, there is light at the end, and you are truly letting that show through you. I'm really glad that you use TikTok to get your story out, because you really don't know how many people you are helping. That's why they want to hear your story. They're intrigued by what happened next and how you got out, and to see where you are now. So continue to put your stories on TikTok. Continue to be a blessing to everyone, because it is truly a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, what we're going to do now is that I'm going to go ahead and do another drawing. And then when we come back, we're going to allow our special guest to tell you her surprise for our viewers. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and do this. Well, I'm going to do it without my glasses.
Drumsticks.
And this here. It was so hard to see this every day, because this thing is bad. I love it. But we got this on CBS Fashion, man. This unisex hat. So it's for men or for women. So we're getting ready to raffle that one off. So good luck to the next person that will win this special hat.
It's got to be me.
Let's see. Mix it up real good. Okay.
Yeah, mix it up real good, Spike.
It's mixed up real good.
Make sure mine come out of there.
I'm telling you, that hat is so
Nice.
It is. Okay, let's see who our next one is. Like I gotta pop it open backwards. Okay. Make sure you answer your phones twice.
Don't answer.
Here we go.
It's my phone.
I'm gonna call you right back, sis.
No. Hello, Nyla.
Hey.
Yeah, this is the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. We are hi. We're not gonna hold you long. I see you in a rush, but we just kind of let you know that you are the third winner of the stylish hat by Envious.
Oh my gosh, that's the one that I wanted.
You want to do it? Congratulations. Okay.
Thank you so much.
No problem. We will contact you after the show to make arrangements so you can style your hat on.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you, Unspoken Heart.
You're welcome. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to take a short break because when we come back, our special guest, Sherelle Hodges, has a surprise for our viewers so that they also can get a prize from her, a little taste of her. So she'll let you know about that as soon as we come back from these messages. So good luck.
All right.
Good afternoon. This is Johnny from Employed by Nobody, serial entrepreneur, proud black business owner, and so my set apart is a part of my story. It raised me. It runs through my veins. I'm so proud. I'm so inspired. I'm just so happy to see the legacy continuing, and I support Samai Set Apart.
Hello, family. My name is Sishman Rimson. I am the CEO of SMR Security Services. I'm also a regional vice president with Primerica Financial Services. Look, guys, I'm making this video for one reason and one reason only, and that is because I am blessed to be in business in partnership with Samai Set Apart. The owners of that company are my friends, my brother and sister in Christ. Listen, I support Samai Set Apart, and guess what? You should too.
Hello, it's me, Chef Tish. I'm the owner operator of Tish's Homestyle Cooking. I'm always rocking that Samai on y'all daily. I support Samai Set Apart.
My name's Warren G. with the Young Millionaire in Training, financial coaching and financial literacy platform, and I support Samai Set Apart.
Hi, my name is Sierra Parker, and I'm the CEO and founder of Pointing in My Purpose nonprofit organization. I'm so proud that my organization is partnered with Samai Set Apart. Thank you guys for being such amazing people. I support Samai Set Apart.
Hey y'all, it's Brother Freddie, Mr. 50, Mr. 5. I'm stepping in from the shoe shop with day one, Samai La Familia. And I'm just stepping in to say that myself and the family, we support Samai Set Apart.
Love you, Uncle Drop.
I'm Donald Mays, and I approve this message.
What up, TikTok? Want to hear the story about how I was put through foster care from the age 4 to 5 because my mom didn't want us? How we bounced around from 17 different homes being tormented by Caucasian families who allegedly were supposed to take care of us, but they didn't want to feed us, they didn't want to clothe us, they really didn't want to house us, but they were all in it for a check. You want to hear the story about how I got molested at the age of 17 by somebody who claimed to be my baby father's friend? You want to hear the story about how I was beat on by my boyfriend? He was physically abusive, mentally abusive, and he didn't care about nobody but himself. How I went with him to a party and he put me in the car with a friend who then molested me behind a community building in the neighborhood. Do you want to hear about how the time I told him I got pregnant and he still beat me and threw me through a TV? Link in the bio. Go get your book. I promise you, it's worth the read.
It's worth the wait. Now we're going to give our special guest the opportunity to announce this next one because she volunteered something from her heart. So everyone, this is Sherelle.
Hey, you guys. So for the, I think, fourth raffle, kind of last minute, but I am going to raffle off one of my books and I'm going to raffle off a t-shirt. So whoever she pulls next will get a t-shirt book combo directly from me, signed, sealed, delivered to you.
All right, so let's do this last drawing. Shake it up, shake it up.
Shake it up good.
It's turning, it's turning. Okay, let's lift it up. And I got the winner in my hand. You see who this one is? Because I got my book on the way, so I ain't worried.
Right.
Oh, wow. Okay, okay. So let's give this caller a ring. Now, on this one, we only...
This is Amadi Budu SD. I'm unavailable.
On this one here, we're just going to do one call and we'll pull another name.
Okay.
Hold up, hold up. Put my phone out the back. And let's put those back in there.
Don't pull the same name.
That one that didn't make the call?
Oh no, I was like, don't pull the same name.
Oh no. We got that one to the side. He missed out. So this one here. Okay, now we're gonna pull another name for another opportunity. Okay, let's see who this one is. It's so hard to get these things open when you seal them. Okay. Josiah.
Oh, he sounds so cute.
Girl.
Hello?
Yes, may I speak to Lisa? Gigi?
Speaking.
Hi, lady. This is Spicy Girl. Spicy Girl from the Spoken Heart Discussion Hour. You are the fourth winner.
Yay! I saw my arms and I saw your name. I said, that's Spicy.
And I don't know if you're watching, but I'm going to let you let the special guest tell you what you have won.
Okay.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I just started following you. Did you see my message?
I haven't, so I'll actually be able to see it once I get off.
Okay, I'm ready.
So you are the lucky winner of one of my books, The Long Way to Myself, Finding Me, and you won the Zero Tolerance sweatshirt to go with it.
Awesome! And I said, "Ooh, that's a nice shirt."
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
So
I really admire you. You are so strong and brave. I would love to read the book.
Yes, ma'am. It's on the way. It's on the way.
Thank you. Thank you, Spicy.
You're welcome, love.
I know I got a big mouth, huh? Spicy, I pass your house every day on the bus. Every morning, I look at your house. I say, that's Spicy house every morning.
Well,
right
thank
at
you
the
for the
corner.
passerby. Well, you have it. She will contact you personally right after the show so that she can
Oh,
get your
man.
address and ship you
No.
off your gift.
Let's see each other again.
Okay, did you hear? Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay, Lisa, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, she's gonna contact you after the show so that way y'all can talk and you can give her the location to ship the items that you have won to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome and congratulations. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Oh, that was so exciting. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what we're going to do now is that, that was the last gift. Thank you so much for that love and support and giving that from your heart for Domestic Violence Month. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
And we want to thank you for accepting our request and coming on and finishing out Domestic Violence Awareness Month. This has been, I've been so excited. You just don't know, I just like, I'm so excited. I can't wait. But I mean, thank you so much. And I have to say, don't stop. Keep getting the word out there. Keep inspiring others. Keep educating others. You're doing a great job. I wish you the best with your clothing line, your book, which I've seen on TikTok. You've been just rapping and sealing and shipping off. So you're doing great. You're doing great. You're touching lives. And I truly thank you for, responding to me, reaching out to you for this month. And so, Denise, I'm going to let the rest of them give you a word. And then we're going to allow you to be able to give a word of nutrition and also let everybody know how they can find and follow you. So we're gonna let Denise give the word.
Well, thank y'all all for tuning in to the show. It's been a long month of a lot of information, great information, and I hope that everyone gets something out of all the information that it's been given to you. Know that you're not alone out there. There's always someone out there that's going through the same problem, and that can help you get out of it. And if you can't get out of your situation, you feel like you can't get out of your your situation, there is a hotline, family violence, right here, 210 if you live in San Antonio. There's a 1-800 number also for people victims of domestic violence. Now, just please, if you see someone getting victimized, don't just stand by and just look at it and walk away and say it's none of my business. It's everyone's business because this goes on and on and on. All I have to say to everyone out there and the people who are going through it, male or female, or children, you're loved. God is watching you, and I pray for you.
This is a great show, their encouragement. And true, if anybody going through a domestic violence, please get help. You're not alone. To everybody, so I'm praying for those people out there. And this was a great show. And so I want Spicy Grace doing a good job and everything. So let's keep this up. And I'm praying for everybody, and God bless everyone that watched the show. And also, don't forget to share it. Share it with everybody so they can see the show as well. Love y'all. Much love.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your comments and your support. Thank you to our special guest. Just get help. Use the number on the screen. Use your friends. Use your parents. Use your voice. Use your voice. Get out. Thank all of our special guests that have shared their stories of encouragement to encourage those that feel like there's no way out. So please just get out, get the help that you need, know that you are loved, that you are wanted, and most of all, that God loves you. Thank you for watching.
I thank y'all so much. And I do want to say this has been a long month. And I can truly say that I am blessed because to have Dwight and Denise, Keisha, and King D, which wasn't able to make it today, to take over the show while I was trying to recover, still recovering. I don't start therapy till next week. So um, this has been a true blessing. I feel very blessed to have them to step in to keep the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour going, especially during this month, because they knew how much it meant to me. And I knew it meant a lot to them as well, that we had to get the word out. I truly thank God for the guests that we have had through this month. It has been truly, truly a gift. And I look forward to the next Awareness Month. No matter what, this is just not a 1 month thing out of a year. This is a daily fight. We have to stand together in unity. It takes more than just one voice. We all come together and we have to stand our ground to fight this. It's an ongoing thing. It's not like it was before. It's not on the back burner no more. We're not being quiet anymore. We are breaking our silence. I truly thank God for the one that came today. It was such a blessing to run across her profile and to see her story. It has truly been a blessing to the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. And I want to thank her so much for coming on and just giving us a lot of fruitful awareness. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to allow our guests to give a word of nutrition, is what we call it. And that's so for the ones that are watching, ones that could be going through, one has already got it, escape, is still dealing with the process. And then she's also going to give y'all the platform that you can find and follow her on, and the websites for her clothing and her book. Everyone, this is Ms. Hodges.
Hey, you guys. I just want to say that if there's if you're going through a situation, regardless if the situation is domestic violence or anything that is just not sitting well with you, there is always somewhere, someone, someplace out there that will give you help, that will help you. There are numbers I see going across the bottom of the screen for those who feel like they can't tell them, any family members, and feel like they may be backlashed at, or someone will just ignore that there are people assigned, there are people there willing to help you. My clothing line, my book, everything that you can find is on my website, lifeofsherelle.com. My name's here on the screen. And my TikTok platform is SSH, ESSESSACHEEE. Maybe I should say it slower, but yeah. I'm on Facebook under the same thing as well. Instagram, it's all the same. ESSESSACHEEE. Thank y'all for having me.
Now, make sure y'all tune in next week as we bring some musical tunes to the show. So, take a little break from the stories and everything. It's been very fruitful for what we received this month. And I hope it truly reached somebody out there. So make sure you tune in next week to the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour as we bring you more to enjoy. Have a good night and much love.
Thank you.